You're listening to the La Rock Life Podcast, where hosts Michael and Laura explore relationships, adventure, freedom, and just some all-around real and raw conversations. Drawing from their 17 years together with a bit of sarcasm, humor, tears, a few and lots of love. They deep dive into the male and female perspective on relationships and navigate the highs and lows of life together. Sit back, grab your love mug, and let's get into today's conversation.
All right, babe. Episode 57. What are we talking about?
We're going to talk about the dreaded aftermath week of Halloween.
Oh, I wish I had something for that sound effects wise, but 100%, right? It's been crazy.
Yeah. So this one's for the parents of, well, I was going to say young kids, but really any kids.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, we're going to want to hear from you too. What's this week like for you? So
yeah,
maybe like a little bit of background for us. Our son's 4.5. I mean, he's almost 5. That's what our conversation was tonight for bedtime. How many more sleeps until his birthday? And I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know. But anyways, he's 5 in December, but we don't generally have a lot of sugar in our house, right? Like we
no
the healthy granola bars. We're like that parents.
Yeah.
Those parents. And I mean, it kind of stems from us because we're those people that if we have junk food in the house, we have to eat it.
Well, we had to do that, right? Like I came from like just a free-for-all with junk food and sugar and everything. Like I remember back in the day at home, like getting cornflakes and I would like just lace on the white sugar. Like wasn't just like a little bit
upon teaspoons of white sugar. Yeah.
Crazy, right? So
yeah.
I get it. I understand. Like I'm not like we're not ignorant to not like we're big
stuff
kids
is like
and stuff,
literally crack.
Oh,
literally
100%.
It's actually, what do they say? It's
hits the
more
same
addictive
receptors
and it's more addictive than crack.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. So like we're those people and we have very minimal sugar in our house. I do my baking with like honey and stuff like that, sweeteners. But I mean, Lennox, he does love his sugar. But I mean, it's only like 3-4 days since Halloween, but I'm about ready to like pull my hair out. And so I guess why? Because it's like, it's the continuous, like, can I have a candy? 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 And sometimes I'm just like, have a fucking candy. Like, I'm going to lose my mind.
Just throwing candies at the little guy. Have a fucking Snickers.
Because I was like, no more candy. But then, it's just too much. But then, okay, so here's the other thing. Like, he sleeps really good now. Sleep has been like a thing for us, but he sleeps really good now. And then the last few nights he's been waking up in the middle of the night and I'm just like, oh my God, it's so annoying. But he's at this age where he's really excited for Halloween and like now he knows what he got. And so I don't know. I just like hate this week.
Yeah. And I mean, like you said, we're going to need suggestions or what people do. Let us know in the comments or anything. But
yeah, because we didn't even take him trick-or-treating last year.
No, he got gypped. I think he got like a little baggie of candy from somewhere, didn't he?
Yeah, that's because we lived in Kamloops and we didn't know anyone. And then it was like, we were like, well, we don't know anyone for one. And then two, like, is anyone even doing anything? So he didn't know. He got to dress up for his little preschool and then he got like a tiny little bag. I think it literally had like some licorice and a toy in it or something. Like that was it.
Yeah.
And we didn't buy candy. We didn't hand it out because we were living in a condo. So he like totally skipped it last year. And then the years prior to that, then he was 2 and 1. Like I think we went to like a couple of houses when he was 1 and then 2. We did a few more, but we didn't do as much as he did this time. And I think we ate some of his candy back then. But now I'm like, I don't even want any of this candy. Like it makes me feel like garbage. So, yeah, sorry, I think I cut you off there, but.
No, I think that's about it. Cause we just had that little baggie and we were in a condo, right? So we didn't do anything and people weren't coming to our door or nothing like that. So
yeah. And so I think that's where you're kind of going with it. This is like our first year of like, full on Halloween.
That he really knows what it is, right? Too. Mm-hmm. And like knows what his candies are and like counts them and fucking has them categorized. And
you guys did a lot of houses.
Oh, 100%. I could have been like, yeah, that was not. But it's so hard, right? Because that's
It's fun
awesome
and-
stuff, man. He's with his cousins, so he's like having a time, and like they're running around. So you can't stop that, and you can't. That's the whole point of this, right? And
Yeah.
who knows? Like seriously, like no, God, we're in like the affluent neighborhoods of Red Deer, and it was still maybe half the people participated, if that.
Oh, the houses, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say the ones I did were freaking nut crazy, but
Well, there was some that just had like bowls outside, and then there was other people handing them out. And then
you
there
see
was,
that a lot more. Hey, that was never
I
back
don't
in the day,
recall
man.
bowls out before. No, I think that's just the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And then there was that one old guy who had the pipe from it.
Oh yeah, I had to throw it down a pipe. That was actually quite a ways, eh? He was probably
was.
like 10 feet or something. It's crazy.
And I've seen things like that on social media, but I never actually seen it in real life. So that was, I don't know, it's kind of cool. But anyways, okay, so we're not just gonna like sit here and bitch. Like we actually do have
Yeah, or not the
ideas.
Grinch of fucking Halloween, but it was awesome watching these kids, and
Yeah,
it's
like,
cool they get candy and shit.
his
That's awesome.
excitement level was cool, and we did pumpkins the night before with his cousins, or like carved pumpkins. So, I mean, he didn't get like gypped by any means, but okay. So there's a few analogies, and this is what we did. So the night before Halloween, we did carve pumpkins with our family, and my sister-in-law was talking about Switch the Witch. And I was like, what is that? Never heard of that before. Never really had to think about it before. And so she was explaining that that's what she does with her kids. I don't know if they do it like right at Halloween or if they do it like a week or two after when there's all the lingering stuff. But basically she said, so the kids switch their candy and like a portion of their candy, I guess, depending on how much the parent decides on, switches it with the witch, and the witch either can then leave like a toy or money.
Yeah, it's like Tooth Fairy kind of thing, right? Yeah.
Basically, yeah. And so I was like, oh, well, that's brilliant. So we told Lennox, and he was just like, yeah, I want to switch the witch. But I think his idea was like one candy to switch the witch. And we were like, no, like you have to switch the witch a lot of candy. But so where was I going with this? Oh yeah, but okay, I wanted to share this because I'm like, oh my God, our poor 4-year-old. I was telling my mom this, and she's like, your kid's probably gonna like hate you when he's older. And I'm like, no, I prefer to look at it as he's gonna be like, thanks for really looking out for my health, Mom.
They'll be the first one for till he's like 20, and then he'll understand like, holy fuck, they're actually trying to help me. And then
yeah, exactly. But when we were driving, because we did hit up like a few friends' houses, right? And then we went to the location for him to walk around with his cousins. But he was like, Mom, we have to check the ingredients, right? And if they're poison, because I straight up tell him that candy is poison. I'm like, no, that's poison. He's like, no, it's not. It's candy. And I'm like, no, like it is legit poison. I mean, there's dyes in there, the sugar, like it is poison to your body. And
God, it tastes good.
maybe I'm not a fun mom in that way, but I'm like, no, it's literally poison. So he's like, yeah, so we have to check the ingredients, right, Mom? And if it's good, then I can have it. And if it's not good, then we'll switch the witch because the witch only likes poison. I was like, yeah, the witch is poison. She can eat poison.
Yeah, you got it for like another year, I think.
And I was just laughing. So I was like, oh my God, what other 4-year-olds are like explaining this to their parents? So that's what my mom was like. He's going to be like, you sure fed me a lot of bull crap, Mom. But it's not. It's truth. But anyways, so he was really excited to switch the witch, but he wanted to do it that night. And we got home kind of late, and I was like, let's just do it tomorrow. She'll come tomorrow. And he's like, no, I want to do it tonight. So we laid out all of his candy and took out what he can't eat because he does have some caps on his molars, and we've learned the really hard way that he cannot have gummies because those pull right off.
Swedish fish take your teeth with you.
And he's well aware of that too. So he's like, I can't have this one. No, I can't have this one. So we like eliminated a whole bunch that way. And then I just grabbed handfuls of chocolate bars and like some chips and a different, like all the random, like weird candies that people hand out.
The Humpty's chips, like fuck off.
Yeah. And then just like, yeah, those hard candies, like miscellaneous things. So we put that all like to the witch. I was like, do you think this is good? Is the witch going to be happy? And he's like, yeah, I think that's good. So we put it in a plastic bag and we hung it on the door. And then the witch supposedly came that night. And here's like the kicker. So if you have your kids watching or listening with you, maybe like close their ears, because I was laying in bed and I was like totally dozing off. And then I was like, fuck, the witch. She didn't come. So then I come downstairs and I like grab the bag, and then I go to my purse to get some money because clearly she's not bringing a toy. She's going to leave some cash. And then I can't find my purse. And then I'm like, oh, it's in the car. And I'm like in my pajamas and all cozy and warm. And it's like chilly out now. So then I go out to the car, get my purse, come in, pull out. I only gave him 10. I mean, the witch only gave him 10. I pulled out 2 5s, put it in the door. I just kind of stuck it where like kind of in the door, and then took the bag. And then I just threw the bag like in my closet just to get rid of the evidence so I could go to bed. But I was like, oh, this is so inconvenient. And it was the beginning of my hatred for this week, I think. But he was really excited when he woke up in the morning and he's like, $5. She left me $5. And I was like, but I'd seen that one had fallen onto the floor. So I was like, oh, here's another one. And then he's like, oh, another one. And then we did our math and like figured it all out. So, I mean, that was good. But I don't think we gave the witch enough candy.
Yeah, no, he's going to have candy for a while, right? And he's like rationing it and like, wow. If it's up to him, I guess he'd eat the whole thing. But like, what do? Do we get rid of like after like next week? Is it just magically gone? But he's too old for that shit now. It's like,
well, he told me today, I'm going to boss my kids around like you do. And I was like, what does that mean? He's like, well, I'm going to tell them they're only allowed to have so much candy. And I was like, but I'm not bossing you. I'm just setting boundaries for your health, because if you eat too much at once, you'll be sick. And he didn't quite seem to understand that. And we did. Actually, the one day we did say, fine, eat all the candy you want. But if you get a sore tummy, then we warned you, right? Because here's like the thing. I've heard a few different analogies, and this is where like we would love to hear what you do, because this is kind of new to us. So I remember one person telling me, I don't remember the specifics, but I think it was along the lines of like, let them eat as much candy as they want for like 3 days or something like that, like a short period of time, so that they learn like what it does do to their body and how that feels. But then I can't remember if it was after that, like take it all away and it's gone, or if then it's very rationed. I can't remember exactly what she had said. But to me, I was like, I can't do that because I know it's poisoning him. So I'm just like, I can't do that. But I do understand, too, that he has to learn what that does to his body, and he's going to be exposed to it in the outer world and whatnot. So, and this may seem extreme to some people, but sugar is just the devil. Like, it is not good for you.
Yeah,
so.
you get it, right? It's tough. And
it's made to addict kids as well. Yeah. And like it affects their brain and it affects their learning and their behaviors and everything.
Yeah, and it's not like he doesn't eat shit. Like he eats shit too, right? Like he's eating this stuff. So it's not like it's all like doom and gloom. He's like some weird fucking kid. I just think it's a fine line for sure. Because like, coming from a guy like me telling him not to do that, whereas like I was that fucking fat kid in Charlie and Chalk Factory, like fell in the river. Like I would just eat whatever. My mom was like, that's like fucking native way too, right? It's like, are you hungry? Are you hungry? Are you hungry?
Yeah.
So that, and it's just like kind of just a free for all, right? And I went the complete opposite. So I don't know how, like I'm just very fortunate and very happy that like it has, like I don't know how I don't have diabetes. Like, to be honest, it's crazy, right? So,
wow, your trailer when you moved out when you were like 19, something, 20?
Out of that trailer? I was there for like 2.5 years.
Oh, maybe. Okay, so early
like
20s.
20, yeah.
I remember when we cleaned it, there was like 1.5 inches of like deep fried grease on the walls.
Oh, yeah. Like I have zero business, but it's crazy, right? So, coming, like, that's where I feel bad. It's like, well, you probably shouldn't, buddy. But I had to whatever you want to call it, I had to detox off this shit for so long, right?
Yeah. And when you know better, you do better, right? Yeah. So, I mean, your mom
that's how she did
aware
it.
Of that. Yeah, exactly. And it's not, I don't think it's back then. I feel like maybe we weren't exposed to so much shit on a regular basis as we are now, or like we didn't go out as much to the stores, or like it wasn't in front of our faces quite as much as kids. Or maybe it was, but I don't know. I just feel like it's worse now. But whatever. That was your mom, right? But now you know better, so you do differently. And so that's, I think, where it comes from, right? And I think a huge part for me too is my healing journey the last few years, like really understanding the effects of sugar and the inflammation it causes in your body and just disrupts that whole system, which leads to some
everything,
massive
right?
imbalances.
Feeding candida left and right. But that, and for me too, it's like all the work that you put in, we've put in on his health, and like the supplements we take and the things, like it's like, fuck that, it's gonna go all down the drain for some free candy, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so that's the difficult part. I had seen something on Instagram too just this week, because of course, like the thing that's going around right now, I don't know if we're allowed to say that on here. I know you're not allowed to say it on a lot of platforms.
No, you said it already.
I didn't say it.
Didn't you?
I don't think I did.
Oh, anyway.
But someone made a good point, and it was like, now starts the season of like sugar overload with like Halloween, and then going into, I mean, again, it was an American, so then going into their Thanksgiving and then Christmas, which all revolves around like,
this 3 months is going to be a free for all, right?
Exactly. And that's what they said. And then it's very much linked to, like I said, inflammation and blood sugar and all of the things, which then weaken your immune system, which then expose you to more things. So I was like, yes, this is very interesting. But anyways, okay, let's go back to the theories. So switch the witch, and then the idea of just like letting them binge and then taking it away. I seen another girl on Instagram the other day. She had little kids as well. She had like 3 jars. They each got like, is this a quart, the bigger one?
I guess, yeah.
I don't know. The bigger, like mason jar. That was filled with candy. And then she said they each get 3 a day. So like we're talking little chocolate bars or like rockets or whatever, right? So 3 a day. And then the rest of it she took and just like put it in the freezer, and like, I guess her kids are small enough that they're not going to really ask for it. And so maybe she'll eat it with her husband, or maybe they'll
3 a day or 3 that day?
3 a day until the jar is gone.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So it's like a limited amount, and it's quite a little amount. So I mean, and it's rationed. So 3 a day over what, like a week or 2?
Call it that, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm curious, like, is it better to just like binge hardcore for like a week and then be done? Or is it better to like linger it out?
Nice slow
like,
drip of sugar, yeah.
Yeah. All I know is that I've been a cranky mom this week because the continuous asking for sugar and then the lack of sleep. I hate being woken up in the night. So then there's that, which I know is completely connected.
Yeah.
And then he's just whinier during the day too, right? And I'm like, I'm going to pull my hair out. So I was kind of thinking with his candy, like grabbing handfuls every day and throwing it in the garbage, because then that way, like letting it fall to the bottom of the garbage, because then that way it's a gradual thing and he doesn't really notice. But then also I'm like, well, is that just kind of lying? Like, I don't want to lie to him.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. I don't want to do that, because that's just fucking dirty, isn't it? That seems kind of shitty.
Well, I mean, he's still little. Like, does it really matter? Like, oh, I don't know why your candies are going away so fast.
The fucking witch came out.
Must be eating lots. Well, and see, that's another idea we could do. We could say, hey, Lennox, the witch wants more. But then that gets into all sorts of things.
No,
too.
they were just pumping money into this.
Well, not only that, but just the mind games of it, right? Like, some people don't even believe in telling, like, lying to their kids that there's a Santa and different things like that, right?
Yeah.
So I did feel bad. So I was like, well, the witch. Like, I do feel bad about all these things. It's like this imaginary person comes and takes your stuff. Do you ever remember like learning that there was no Santa?
Yeah.
Again, sorry if your kids are listening.
Yeah, no, it was just, I think it was just straight up, because I had 3 older siblings that were like, we're all, and I don't think anyone really tried to hide anything from me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you
so
probably
just like,
knew from a small
as soon
age.
as I could figure it out, it was like, oh, yeah.
You didn't really have much of a childhood.
So there's
a
that.
typical childhood.
Yeah.
From the stories you tell me. So I remember, I think I straight up asked my dad, and he just straight up said no. And then I remember my auntie was like mad, and he was like, well, I'm not going to lie to her. And I was like, well, that's fair. So I don't know, whatever. However you parent in that way is like no judgment, because I see the fantasy behind it, right? Like the excitement and the imagination and the belief in something. But then I can see how it's kind of weird to like lie to our kids about that. Things you don't think about till you're a parent, right?
No. And like how you even walk that off. Because like, are you just mad at your parents for a little while? And then it's like, well, whatever.
I don't really remember how I felt after anything.
Water under the bridge.
I just lied to you for 10 years of your life. No big deal. Oh, what else are you lying to me about?
Yeah, no shit, eh?
Well, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, I don't even know, the witch now.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. So, I mean, the witch could come back and ask for more and we could get rid of it. Or maybe he'll kind of start forgetting about it, but I don't think he will because he's got my genes in him. And I'm like, if there's junk food in the house,
Yeah.
I'll
If he knows where the candy is, yeah, it's
Yeah.
happening.
Although not so much anymore, but I used to very much be like that because it's an addiction. It's literally an addiction. I'm like, I don't want to addict my kid to crack. I mean, it's already too late. And we're going to have to wean him off, detox him. But
Yeah.
anyways, so there's that idea. And then today I seen another lady on Instagram. She's like super, super healthy. And so she was saying that she still lets her kids go trick-or-treating. But then basically when they come home, they would take it as a opportunity, because I think they homeschool as well, to like learn counting and categorizing and stuff like that. And then they got to switch each candy for like 20 cents or something like that. But I think her kids like switched up all their money for candy, and then she would give them money and then they could go buy a toy or like put it with whatever else they had saved up and then go buy a toy or whatever.
Right.
But this year she said instead they went to Whole Foods. She's from the States, and they went to the candy aisle and she explained to them that this isn't healthy food, but it has healthier ingredients than the other candy. And so they like read ingredients lists, and she like told them like, this isn't healthy for you, but it's healthier. So it's just teaching them lessons about food choices and like what's better than not. And then I think they bought a whole bunch of that, came home, and then still like switched out their Halloween candy for that stuff or something. I didn't fully understand. I don't think I watched it till the end. So, I mean, obviously there's tons of different things that a person could do. And I know that we need to do something, especially for the future, because like, I don't know. If someone has kids who are just like, oh, I'll have a candy like randomly, like, what are you doing? Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
And I get that maybe it is because we don't have candy in our house, but at the same time, I don't want to have candy in our house. So.
Yeah, you get used to it too, right? Like they're just, well, like anything, you just become, what is it? Can't remember the word, but just like with alcohol or like anything, right? You just become
like immune or numb to it or something?
No, not
like,
numb, but you just
like it's just normal.
Yeah, like it takes more, right? So you'd have to eat like that whole bag candy to get a sugar, or like I would back in the day.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So there's varying levels to it too, right? And that might play a big part. Well, I'm sure it does play a big part in it. Why he doesn't, or why he is so sensitive to it, but whatever. It is what it is. We'll figure it out. Like, yeah, maybe between throwing some away and selling some to back to us or something silly, we'll figure out something. But
oh yeah, and P.S. that bag that's in the closet, I think I'm just gonna throw that in the garbage.
Oh, the witches. Yeah, I don't fucking want it.
Yeah, I don't want it either. That was just like super tired. What do I do with this? I've never been the witch before. Throw it in the closet. Go back to sleep.
It's funny.
But yeah, I think, well, and then my mom was like, well, maybe the neighbor wants it or you could donate it. I'm like, who wants this shit? Like, who willingly wants more
that's just you.
of this
now
shit?
You like, do you want to give that to people, right? So,
well, that's just it. I'm like, it's not good enough for my kid, but here, does your kid want this? I'm like, no. And then it always reminds me of, what was that? Who was it? Oh, was it Tony from P90X, like the Beachbody stuff? Or was it someone else who always talked about like your body not being a garbage can?
Yeah, I think Tony, yeah.
Right?
I'm sure
like,
it would have been.
I just remember being like, your body's not a garbage can. And maybe it wasn't him at all, but, I was just like, that's really like a good thought. Like I remember like 15 years ago thinking that like, you don't have to eat it. Your body's not a garbage can. So you can literally throw it in the garbage. And that's what I was telling my mama was like, there's a piece of me that like wants to be resourceful and not wasteful. And like, you know, the small town farm girl in me that's like, we can't waste this. But then I'm like, but it is garbage. It is toxic. It is like addictive. So it can go in the garbage, and just kind of like getting rid of that mindset. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting thing.
Yeah, I think it's a never-ending battle.
Everyone may think we're super weird now, but I also think that a lot of parents will completely relate to. So let us know what you do or your thoughts on any of this. I mean, like I said, we're kind of new to this ball game. So
Yeah, no, I think that's kind of a good play to leave that one. What else you been up to?
Working on Safe and Wild. Well, launching Safe and Wild.
Safe and Wild. Tell me more about it.
Well, we launched it last week.
Yes.
And so just welcoming new people into it. We're going to talk about it a lot more now too, like now that we have it done and it's out there, fun ways to talk about it more and bring it to more people and bring it in front of more people. But it's been really fun to create and to sit there and share the stuff with you, right? I had to get over my mindset of like, everybody knows this stuff, right?
It is. Well, it's hard when that's your circle. I mean, that's all we surround ourselves with now, right? So it's just, it seems common knowledge, but then you think about it from someone else's point of view, you're like, oh yeah, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I was like talking with my coach about. Cause I was like, I really am struggling with like how to share, because I'm like, this is common knowledge. Like, doesn't everyone know this? And she's like, no, they don't. And she reminded me, like, you've been learning this for 6, 7, 8 years. And like, it's your life now. But remember back 6, 7, 8 years ago when it wasn't. And I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's very true. And there's one thing of knowing, and then there's another thing of fully embodying and putting into practice what you know as well, right? And putting it into practice when things are heated or like, not to say, so you don't have to take Safe and Wild only if you're having issues in your relationship. We created it to be proactive and to learn skills and have tools in your toolbox for when things maybe are a little rough. And I mean, if your relationship's not rough, then I think you're a unicorn.
Yes. And write that in the comments of what you do there.
Well, I don't know. I guess the way I look at it is there are people who maybe just smooth right on through, sail right on through. But at the same time, I believe that like a relationship that you chose for growth and to evolve as a human is always going to have some sort of it's going to always have an opportunity to grow. Because
there's going to be the growth, and you gotta play off each other and butt heads. Like, that's some really good friends, right? Like really good friends will challenge you. Yeah. That's what you need.
And if you want to grow and evolve as a person, your relationship should be triggering you, because like I said, it's a mirror and it's showing you pieces of yourself that could use some attention. And so that's not to say that like, okay, so going back to your relationship doesn't have to be in despair to take Safe and Wild. And even if your relationship is pretty good, it's a good time to take it. But if your relationship is in despair, I mean, like we say in it, we're not therapists. We will help you be proactive and to move forward and learn skills. It's not about like totally living in the past and like being all in that. We're very future focused and learning new skills moving forward. But yeah, I think just one of the biggest things is if you want to grow and evolve as a human, your relationship is an excellent opportunity to do that in, because you chose this person to see all the sides of you and to trigger all the parts of you. And it's a really great opportunity to lean in and learn more about yourself. So,
well, that's a great way to sum it up. Where can they find it?
LaRockLife.com. Okay. Safe and Wild. You can read all about it, everything that it entails, and then join now. Simple.
Awesome.
But I guess I will add to that. So it is self-paced course or program. So as soon as you click purchase, you get access to it right away. So you get access to the welcome, to the bonus that we included in there, my 1-hour inner child workshop, which I think is super important to do for both men and women. And then module 1 is there right away. And then 7 days later, module 2 drips out. And then 7 days later, module 3. So it drips out like that over 6 weeks. There's 6 modules total, plus your bonus of the inner child workshop. And, and then we have our community. So you can join the community as well if you want extra support and accountability. And we'll be hopping in live there too as more people join to answer questions and to just offer in more trainings and whatnot. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, that's a great way to sum it up. Let's leave it at that. I love you.
I love you too.
I love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. Find us on social media at LaRock Life Podcast and online at LaRockLife.com. Have a request for a show topic? We love that. Send us an email at michael@larocklife.com or DM at LaRock Life Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review.